Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. How many of you have been pressing snooze on your own life? How many mornings have you woken up, gone through the motions, and felt deep down that there's more inside you than what you're living right now? See, the truth is, most people aren't really living, they're just existing. And that's why today's message is not just another talk, not just another set of words, it's a wake-up call. This isn't about motivation that fades tomorrow, it's about transformation that starts today. Because the clock is ticking, the opportunities are moving, and your future is waiting on you to act. If you've been stuck in excuses, if you've been afraid of failure, if you've been settling for less than you know you deserve, this is your moment to break free. So stay with me until the very end, because what we're about to uncover could be the shift you've been praying for, the push you've been waiting on, the reminder you've been needing. By the time this is over, you won't just be inspired. You'll be ready to rise, to act, and to claim the life that belongs to you. This is your wake-up call. Stop sleeping on your purpose, because life is moving, whether you are ready or not. Too many people go through the motions of existing without ever stepping into the reason they were created. They wake up every day, follow the same routine, go to work, come back home, and repeat it all again, never realizing that inside of them is a calling waiting to be answered. Purpose is not something far away, it's already in you. But if you spend your life ignoring it, you will miss the very thing that could have given your life meaning. The danger is that you can be alive and still asleep, your body moving but your spirit dormant. Purpose is what separates existence from living. When you know your purpose, everything changes. The way you work, the way you speak, the way you face challenges. You stop asking, why me? And you start asking, why not me? But too many people bury their purpose under fear, under doubt, or under the comfort of playing small. They convince themselves they have time, that tomorrow they'll chase the dream, tomorrow they'll take the step, tomorrow they'll answer the call. But tomorrow is not promised, and the longer you wait, the quieter that inner voice becomes. Waking up to your purpose requires courage. It's not about waiting until you feel fully prepared, because preparation often comes after you start. It's about listening to that tug in your heart that keeps telling you there is more to your life than what you see right now. That whisper is not an accident, it's direction. You can ignore it, but it will never go away. And the truth is, if you don't wake up to your purpose, someone else will be affected by your absence, because your purpose was never just for you. It was meant to serve others. You don't have to start big, you just have to start awake. Awake to your gifts, awake to your opportunities, awake to the shortness of time. When you finally decide to open your eyes and embrace the life you were created for, fear loses its grip, excuses lose their power, and life gains new meaning. Stop sleeping on your purpose, because every second you waste in slumber is a second of destiny slipping away. Wake up now, because the world is waiting on what only you can bring. Excuses will steal your future because they sound convincing in the moment, but leave you with nothing in the long run. An excuse is nothing more than a well-dressed lie you tell yourself to justify staying where you are. It gives you comfort today, but costs you progress tomorrow. You can say you don't have enough time, enough money, enough support, or enough talent. But the truth is, none of those things are the real barrier. The barrier is the story you keep repeating to yourself about why you can't move forward. As long as you keep rehearsing that story, you'll stay stuck in the same place year after year. Excuses are attractive because they take the responsibility off you. If it's always someone else's fault, if it's always the system, the circumstance, or the timing, then you never have to change. You can sit back, point fingers, and stay comfortable. But comfort never creates growth, and excuses never build futures. Every time you choose an excuse, you are trading in a piece of your destiny. You're handing over the possibility of what could have been for the temporary relief of not trying. The danger with excuses is that they multiply. One excuse leads to another, and before long you've built an entire wall around yourself that keeps you from even seeing your potential. You start to believe your own reasons for why you can't, and they become your reality. But the truth is, the same challenges you face have been faced by people who decided not to let excuses define them. They had the same setbacks, the same doubts, the same fears, yet they moved forward anyway. The difference was an opportunity. It was mindset. The moment you stop making excuses, you reclaim your power. You begin to see that your future is not determined by what happens to you, but by how you respond. Excuses tell you to wait. Discipline tells you to act. Excuses keep you asleep. Purpose wakes you up. And every time you silence an excuse, you strengthen your belief in yourself. The only way to break free from excuses is to decide that your dream is worth more than your comfort, that your future is worth more than your fears. Because at the end of your life, it won't be the excuses you remember, it will be the opportunities you missed because of them. Discipline turns dreams into reality because dreaming alone will never be enough. A dream is the spark that lights the fire, but discipline is what keeps it burning when the excitement fades. Everyone has dreams, visions, and goals they think about late at night, but not everyone is willing to do the work required to make them happen. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, you'll always be wishing instead of building, always talking instead of walking. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Motivation may get you started, but discipline keeps you going when motivation disappears. There will be days when you're tired, when you don't see results, when you question whether it's worth it, and those are the days discipline separates the achievers from the dreamers. The truth is, your future isn't built on what you do occasionally, it's built on what you do consistently. One workout won't make you fit, one study session won't make you wise, and one effort won't make you successful. Discipline is the daily repetition, the willingness to show up again and again until what was once hard becomes second nature. The beauty of discipline is that it compounds. Every small, disciplined action builds on the one before it, creating momentum that eventually transforms your life. You may not notice the change immediately, but with time, consistency produces results that others will call overnight success, even though you know it was years in the making. Discipline teaches you patience, persistence, and the value of steady growth. It builds character because it forces you to master yourself, to control your impulses, and to prioritize your future over temporary comfort. People often think success belongs to the talented or the lucky, but more often than not, success belongs to the disciplined. Talent without discipline wastes away, but discipline can turn even average abilities into extraordinary achievements. Discipline doesn't ask if you're ready. It demands that you keep showing up until you are. If you want your dream to live, you have to nurture it with consistency, protect it with commitment, and fuel it with discipline. Dreams may inspire you, but only discipline can make them real. It is the daily choice to push forward, no matter how small the step that turns vision into reality. Failure is a signal, not a sentence, and how you interpret it determines whether you grow or stay stuck. Too many people see failure as the end of the road, a permanent label stamped on their forehead that says they are not good enough. But failure was never meant to stop you. It was designed to teach you. Every mistake carries a message, every setback carries a lesson, and every closed door is pointing you toward another path. Failure doesn't mean you are finished. It means you are in training. When you fail, it reveals the gaps in your preparation, the blind spots in your strategy, or the areas where you need to grow stronger. Without failure, you would never know what to improve, and without improvement, you would never reach your full potential. Think about it. Every successful person you admire has a trail of failures behind them. They failed more times than most people ever tried, and that's exactly why they succeeded. The difference is they understood failure wasn't their identity, it was information. Failure also humbles you. It strips away arrogance and reminds you that growth is a process. It forces you to dig deeper, to sharpen your skills, and to build resilience. Each time you rise after falling, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you thought. Failure doesn't weaken you. It strengthens your foundation if you let it. But if you choose to see it as a life sentence, you rob yourself of the chance to evolve. The danger is not in failing, the danger is in quitting. Quitting makes failure permanent, But persistence turns it into progress. Failure is just feedback, a redirection that says, this way isn't working, but there's another way. The problem is, most people are so afraid of failing that they never even try, and in avoiding failure, they avoid success as well. You cannot separate the two. They are part of the same journey. When you stop fearing failure, you unlock freedom. You begin to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone, to chase opportunities others are too scared to pursue. You realize that failure doesn't define you, it refines you, it shapes you into someone capable of handling the very success you've been dreaming of. Failure is not the end, it is the beginning of wisdom, resilience, and the courage to rise again. Your circle determines your direction because the people closest to you influence your mindset, your habits, and your vision for the future. Whether you realize it or not, the energy of your environment seeps into you. If you surround yourself with people who doubt, complain, and settle, it becomes almost impossible not to absorb that mentality. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who believe, who push, who strive, you start to think bigger, act bolder, and live stronger. Who you walk with today will shape where you arrive tomorrow. The truth is, you can't rise higher if you're tied down by people who don't want to move. Some people are comfortable staying average, and if you're not careful, they will convince you to stay average too. They'll tell you your dreams are unrealistic, that your goals are too big, that you should play it safe. But they're not speaking truth, they're speaking from their own fear. If you want to grow, you must be willing to separate yourself from voices that shrink your vision and align yourself with voices that expand it. Your circle is either your fuel or your drain. The right people will inspire you when you feel tired, remind you of your purpose when you feel lost, and hold you accountable when you start slipping. They'll celebrate your wins, but also challenge your excuses. The wrong people, though, will do the opposite. They'll feed your doubts, encourage your procrastination, and keep you stuck in cycles of comfort and mediocrity. Choosing the right circle is not about arrogance, it's about survival. You cannot expect to build a powerful future while surrounding yourself with weak influences. It's also important to recognize that growth sometimes means outgrowing people. It doesn't mean you don't care about them, but it does mean you can't let their limitations become your ceiling. You have to protect your dream, and one of the greatest protections is your circle. If you want to fly, you can't stay around those who are committed to crawling. At the end of the day, your circle is a mirror. It reflects what you will tolerate, what you believe, and what you expect from yourself. If you want to change your life, start by changing who you let speak into it. Because direction is contagious, and the right circle will push you toward destiny, while the wrong one will anchor you to regret. Decisions today shape your legacy tomorrow, because every choice you make carries weight beyond the moment. Too often, people treat decisions like they are temporary, forgetting that small choices compound into habits, and habits become the story of your life. The direction of your future isn't determined by one big leap, but by the daily steps you take. What you decide to do right now, whether it's to work, to wait, to risk, or to settle, will echo into your future and define the kind of life you leave behind. Every great legacy began with a decision. Someone decided to keep going when it was easier to quit, to take the harder path instead of the comfortable one, to believe in themselves when no one else did. Those decisions weren't glamorous in the moment, but over time they shaped a future worth remembering. The same is true for you. The choices you make today about how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with, how you respond to challenges, and whether you pursue your purpose will all add up to the life you create. The danger is believing that today doesn't matter. It's easy to think, I'll start tomorrow, or this one time won't hurt. But tomorrow is built on today's discipline or today's neglect. Skipping responsibility, compromising your values, or staying stuck in excuses may feel harmless now, but they create a pattern that becomes harder to break. On the other hand, choosing integrity, effort, and focus today lays the foundation for a future where you can stand tall without regret. Decisions also influence more than just your life. They shape the lives of those who come after you. Your family, your community, And even people you may never meet will be impacted by the choices you make. Every step forward you take can open doors for others. And every time you give up, you close opportunities that might have inspired someone else. That's what legacy really is. It's not just what you accomplish, but what you leave behind for others to build on. The power of decision is in your hands right now. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment doesn't exist. What exists is today, and what you do with today determines what kind of tomorrow you create. Your legacy is not written at the end of your life. It is written in the daily choices you make. Choose wisely, because your future is already being shaped in this very moment. Life is calling you to wake up, to stop treating your time as if it's unlimited, and to start living with urgency and purpose. We've talked about how you can't sleep on your potential, how excuses will steal your future, how discipline turns your dreams into reality, how failure is a signal and not the end, how your circle determines the direction of your life, and how every decision you make today is shaping the legacy you'll leave tomorrow. All of these truths lead to one powerful reminder. You hold the pen, and you are writing the story of your own life right now. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do have to take the first step. The time for waiting is over. The time for doubting is over. This is the season for action, for courage, for faith. Don't leave this life half-lived. Wake up to your purpose, walk in your calling, and commit to becoming the best version of yourself. I want you to remember this: you are capable of more than you think, stronger than you believe, and closer than you realize. Don't let fear, excuses, or comfort steal the future that belongs to you. Your change begins the moment you decide it does, and that moment can be right now. So go chase it, go build it, go live it. And as you do, may every step bring you closer to the life you were created for. Good luck on your journey. Stay true to your vision, and thank you for giving me your time today. Now go out there and change your life.